Yeah. You can just have a seat anywhere and food to the kitchen. Thank you for coming. Chris can say this.
Hey, everybody. Welcome those that are online. My name is Larry Roberts. I'm sitting in for Ashley Bridgman. She's not able to make it tonight. So I'll go ahead and get started. Can you hear me okay? Everybody can hear me? So again, welcome. We have some packets with all of our agenda and everything is there. And there's also a survey in there. So please remember to complete your survey after the meeting. 5 stars would be appreciated. Just kidding. So also the minutes are in your packet. So I need to get a motion to approve the minutes. Would someone please make a motion to approve the minutes? Liz? Okay, is there a second? Who's second? Okay, thank you. Any discussion about the minutes? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, thank you. Financials. I'll go ahead and tell you about the financials. The balance in our checking account is $3,411.31. We have several grants that we have requested funding for. So we have a total of $38,183.32 in grants that will fund this month. So I'll break that down for you quickly. The coalition grant has $3,715.53. The DFC grant has $7,522.32. The SOR grant has $24,742.53. And the TADEC grant has $2,202.94. Again, that's a total of $38,183.32 that will be deposited to us soon. That's it for the financial report. Can I get a motion to approve that? Anyone? Motion to approve, Liz, thank you. Is there a second? Second, okay, any discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Opposed? Thank you. So let me introduce Hannah Cowan, sorry. Hannah Cowan is going to speak to us tonight. She's with the Center for Family Development Program, and she's going to be our guest speaker. Thanks, Hannah.
Ready? It doesn't matter. Okay, so I am Hannah Cowan. I am a family resource specialist for the Center for Family Development. Go ahead.
I'm Chelsea Fuller, and I'm actually the program supervisor covering Cheatham, Stewart, and Houston counties. And I'm Jasmine Cronister. I'll be the family support specialist for Cheatham County. So I'll actually be the one driving out here and visiting the home.
Yes, and she says driving out here because our office is currently in Clarksville, Tennessee, but we do serve multiple counties in the area. So our staff that works in our outlying counties, they do drive out here. So she'll be out here out and about. So we are the Center for Family Development with the Healthy Families Program. We are an evidence-based home visiting program that just recently expanded to Cheatham County. A few months ago, back in January, we expanded into several new counties because Tennessee saw a need for evidence-based home visiting in the state. And so now there is an evidence-based home visiting program in all 91 counties in Tennessee. 95. She just told me and I always get it mixed up. So we currently serve in our office, we serve Trousdale, Sumner, Stewart, Houston, Cheatham, Robertson, and Montgomery. And then we also have an office in Shelbyville that serves some counties down there as well. So we will go ahead and get started. So Healthy Families America, otherwise known as HFA. So in 1992, Prevent Child Abuse America launched the HFA home visiting model to address high rates of child abuse occurrences to children under 5. Since 1992, the number of HFA program sites has grown from 25 to over 600 sites globally, it's all over the United States. We are just lucky to be here in Cheatham County. Our approach is relationship-based, culturally respectful, family-centered, and grounded in the parallel process. The relationships we build with parents and families serve as a model for the supporting positive relationships we help them cultivate with their children. I like to say that I get to go in and I get to meet these families and I get to be their friend for an hour. I get to hear all about their life, what they've been through, and then I get to pass them to somebody that I trust, that I know is going to work well with them, which would be Jasmine in this situation. And then she gets to build that relationship with them, somebody that they can trust and they can rely on and that they can go to when they have questions and comments and concerns. So designed to work with overburdened families who are at risk for adverse childhood experiences, including child maltreatment, the model is best equipped to work with families who may have experienced trauma, intimate partner violence, poor mental health, substance abuse diagnosis, and so much more. HFA services begin prenatally or right after the birth of the baby up until the first 3 months of age. It's completely voluntary and it's completely free. And then we can stay with them long term, which could be 3 to 5 years. The cool thing about our program, I say, is that, we're there for kind of the long haul. We're there for the first 5 years. So anything that they need in those first 5 years, we're there to do. And so that could be applying for WIC. That could be applying for Head Start when they get older. That could be, making sure they're going to the doctor. There's all kinds of things that they need in those first 5 years that we're there to help them reach their goals, do what they need to do. What results have been? So there have been improvements in prenatal, maternal, and newborn health, including improved pregnancy outcomes, improvements in child health and development, and improvements in cognitive, language, social, emotional, and physical developmental indicators, improvements in school readiness and child academic achievement, reductions in domestic violence, improvements in family economic self-sufficiency, and improvements in the coordination of referrals for and the provision to other community resources and supports for eligible families, which is kind of why we're here today. The last one, because we are new to this county and we're trying to build those relationships with the county, but we need help because we need to know, we don't get to see all of the families, but between the county, everybody gets to see all these families. And, we want to be able to work together to help the community of Cheatham County.
There definitely is a lot to be said of it takes a village to raise a child. And one of the goals out of us presenting here today is we want to make this a collaborative effort. We want to be able to connect all of our families to resources if they need it, whether it's through substance use treatment or if they need help filling out an application for housing or anything like that. So this is a collaborative effort.
Absolutely. We have also seen an increase in early literacy, increased initiation and length of breastfeeding, decrease in child maltreatment, increase in safe sleep practices, decrease in subsequent pregnancies in the first year, and an increase in well child visits and immunizations visits in the first 2 years. And, specifically when it talks about like the breastfeeding or the early literacy, the cool thing about our program is that, we do have a curriculum that we follow to, make sure that they're reaching developmental milestones, doing the things that they need to be doing, but it's also very flexible in the way that if a family has something that they want to talk about for a visit, we're going to be there to talk about that. We've had families that have specifically asked that they just want to talk about breastfeeding for a visit. And so we'll go out there and we'll talk to them about that. Maybe they want to talk about safe sleep, or if they want to talk about tummy time or anything like that, we're going to be prepared to have the resources, have the information, and we're going to cover what they need to know at that time. Yeah.
With some of those too, we are able to be offered free to families because we are funded through a grant through Department of Health. So because of that, we are required to go ahead and go over some of this regardless. So when it talks about increase in well child visits, that's one thing we're required to keep up with. So any family enrolled, we are required to make sure, hey, did you get baby to 2-month well child? Hey, did you get baby to 4-month child? We are required to go over safe sleep, and that has to be done in one of the first visits as well too. So some of that, obviously we are very parent-led, as Hannah said. We are going to go by what the parents' concerns are and what they want to go over, what they feel is most important to them. But we still do cover quite a few mandatory topics as well too.
You
may need tech help with this.
Yes, just need you to click the link at the bottom. Hopefully it'll pull up. Maybe. If not, it's okay. Okay. I think if you Yeah, if you like share that screen instead of this
That's
one,
why I-
yes.
yeah.
It's not pulling up. That's okay. It's not a big deal. It's just a little bit of a visit talking about like some of the people that it worked in the home visiting model. It talks about some families that have experienced it and the benefits that they got from the program. Okay, so our visits do start on a weekly basis. In that first 6 months to a year, we're there every week for about 45 to 60 minutes. But it does reduce as time goes on because our goal is to, strengthen our families to where they don't need us as much. So we want them to become more independent. We want them to have the strength to do and the knowledge to do what they need to do. So it starts to get reduced to every 2 weeks and then monthly, quarterly, and until the child ages out at 5. We discuss proactive health and safety at every visit to reduce ER visits, prevent readmits, and prevent child maltreatment. We do administer the safety checklist. We monitor progression based on screening such as the ASQ, ASQSE, Edinburgh, the postpartum depression screen, Cheers, protective factors survey. We assess for additional services based on the needs of the family, which is where kind of the community comes in because we want to, when our families do have these concerns that they need other resources, we want to know what's out there so that we can get them connected to the right people. I always tell my families, if I don't know the answer, I'm going to find out for you. So that is where the extra resources in the community comes in. We also bring activities, we make toys, and we do that to increase positive parent-child interaction and bonding and attachment. So our families love the activities. They're fun. We just actually got a new curriculum that has a lot more fun activities, I think. She just went through the training, and
The
so
training was not so much fun, but the activities.
she
very
made
much
all
fun.
kinds of stuff. So, okay.
All right, so I know we threw out a bunch of those acronyms in the previous slide. So one of them is called the ASQ, and what this is it's essentially a developmental screening called the Ages and Stages questionnaire. I've only been doing this 5 years, but you wouldn't know. So again, this is something that we're required to go over, and that is because we know that prevention is definitely more effective than intervention. And the earlier that we can detect any possible areas of risk, we want to try and get in there for the best possible outcome. So this is just an example of what a 3-year-old ASQ screening looks like. It goes over 5 different domains. So you have communication skills, gross motor skills, fine motor, problem solving, personal, and social. They're done usually about every 6 months, and all the questions are going to be tailored to this child's specific age. So obviously when we do a 6-month ASQ, it's not going to say, can your child walk well, or things like that. So the benefit of doing this is, again, for preventative measures. If we notice that any of the children happen to show a risk for a delay in any of these domains, we hook them up with the resources. So it can either be TEIS, which is Tennessee Early Intervention Systems, services, not systems. If the child is a little bit older, then in the past, what I've done is connected them with resources with the special education department at the school, and they're able to get services like that. These can also be given to the pediatrician as well too, and they can determine anything else. So I know one of the biggest screenings that this is for is actually for autism and developmental delays. So obviously that's something that is going to require further pediatric assistance. So we can do these and then give the results to the pediatrician and get the ball rolling on any type of services that child and family may need. This is called a Cheers check-in, and this is more so for us. So we look at different areas of parent-child interaction. So there's cues. Is the parent responding appropriately to child? Is she just letting him sit there and cry for an hour, not doing anything? Or is she responding immediately? Holding, what is that interaction between the two like? Is it affectionate? Is it appropriate? Is it gentle, nurturing? Expression, the way they talk. Empathy, being able to understand what the child's wants and needs are. Rhythm, is there a back and forth between mom and baby and their interactions, or is it more parent-led? And then smiles is S. So is there mutual joy happening? Again, that's more for us, so we can kind of gauge parent strength and go from there. If we notice that, mom didn't score too high on this part of expression. She doesn't really talk to him a whole lot. We know how we can base our services. So, okay, let's do some more activities to focus on expression and talking, things like that. So that's more of an assessment that we use for our personal goal planning. This is just a summary of it. So everything that we look for, responds promptly and appropriately, gentle touch, physical contact, speaks to child, responds to vocalizations, responds promptly, appropriately, encourages exploration, follows child's leads, shows pleasure, positive affect.
So how do families enroll? Referrals can come from anyone. As a family resource specialist, I'm in charge of the referrals. I'm in charge of community outreach, and I'm in charge of that first, meeting with the family where we kind of get to know each other. I figure out, like I said, kind of what they've been through their lives, and how we can best support them. They can come from the school system, DCS, the OBGYNs, pediatrician, Department of Health, friends, or even if, it's somebody that you would, or you think that, they might benefit from the program. If you talk to them, you want to send them to me, I'll gladly reach out to them. If you think this is a cool idea and you're like, oh, I really want to be a part of this, you're welcome to reach out to me as well. The families can be expecting a little one second trimester or later, or have a newborn less than that 3 months of age, which is our enrollment period. But like I said, once we get you enrolled, you can stay for the next 5 years. Once a referral is sent to us, our family resource specialist will do a screen to make sure the family meets the criteria for needing our extra support. The family resource specialist will then contact the family to see if they're interested in the services, and if so, we'll schedule an intake. This is what our screening looks like. This is just, I like to say that a lot of times, families might not meet everything on here, but even if they meet one, they could probably benefit from our program. And, we want to be there to support in any way that we can. And a lot of our families, we meet them where they're at. So we've had families that have been homeless, and we're going to meet them where they're at. We've had families that, might not have 12 years of education, but they want to go and get their GED. So we're going to help them take those steps to get there. Maybe they are experiencing depression and they don't know where to go. They don't know who to reach out to for help. We screen for postpartum depression, but if that's something that they need is extra resources for that, like counseling, we can get them connected where they need to be. And there's plenty other ones on there as well. So during the intake, parents will go through a parent survey, which is what I do. It consists of an intensive background of their own childhood experiences, lifestyle behaviors, mental health, substance abuse, perception of pregnancy, ideas of their discipline, milestones. I learn just about as much as there is to know in about an hour to an hour and a half. I love my job. I love what I do. I love being able to just be an ear for these people and just they get the whole hour and a half to just talk. I'm there to listen to them. I don't judge them. I just want to know what they've been through, because like I said, we want to meet them where they're at, and get to know them, because, when our home visitors start working with them, they want to know what they're going to be dealing with, how they can help. And so within generally a week of doing the parent survey, the caregiver will be assigned to a family support specialist, which is what Jocelyn does. And she will then contact the family to schedule their first visit and get them started in the program. Before I ask for questions, that was all very technical and it's all a lot of ASQs and things like that. But I like to tell people, I did tell a little bit about my perspective on the program, but I am, and I think they are just as much so passionate about what we do, because I think, some of our families, we do serve at-risk families, but we also serve families that just need a little extra support. And maybe they don't qualify for something because they don't need as much help, but we're there to step in and help them. And maybe they have questions and they're not sure about some things, and we're not going to judge them for their questions. We're just going to answer them. We're going to help them. We're going to reach out to them when they need us the most. And we're just an extra ear for them. We support them. I like to tell families that we're an educational and an emotional support system, because on the educational side, we're talking about milestones and, breastfeeding and car seats and all that good stuff. But on the emotional side, we're there for the mom and the dad to, be able to vent to and to express their concerns. If they have goals that they want to reach, we're going to be there to help them take those steps. we're just an extra support system for sure. That's, but we really do bond with our families and we get to know them and we want to be there for them. We want them to succeed. And so I think that's the best part of this program, and it's free. So you don't really owe us anything. You just owe us your time, So do you guys want to add anything before we go to questions?
I think you covered up all things I would have said too. Again, I've been doing this for 5 years and I actually was both of their role. I was a dual position in Dixon County. So the fact that the state of Tennessee, the government, Tennessee.gov found such a need for this service really just reaffirms my belief in this too. So I think we are an amazing program. They've expanded home visiting services across the entire state of Tennessee. So I am so glad that we're able to come to Cheatham County and offer these families what I really think is an amazing program. Again, because I've been in it so long, in Dixon County, because of the way the grant was written there, they only serve families up until age 3. So the child aged out at 3. I had a few families who actually aged out at 3. So I went in there when mom was pregnant and I watched these little babies grow up. I got to see moms go and get a GED or move to their own house, or even little victories. Like I had one mom who struggled so much with her own developmental delays that she would cry like, I don't know how to help my baby. And then suddenly she's sending me pictures through her text of the cool things that she's done with her children's homework, So it's very rewarding as well for both from the worker point of view, but for the families too.
Absolutely. Are there any questions? Yes. Okay. No. We do ask about income, but they don't have to meet certain
That's more for
criteria.
demographic purposes. Just Tennessee Department of Health, that's one of the things they'll look for, just so they know, okay, we serve families within this income guidelines, and we typically see families who have this amount of children, or demographic purposes.
We're working on it. I'm sorry.
Which one?
Okay. Yes. Oh, I would
That
love
would be
that. Yes.
amazing.
We are, like I said, it's a slow and steady process, but we are trying so hard to get it in everywhere that we can. And so, which is why we're so grateful to be here today.
So in Montgomery County, Tenova actually has an MOA with Healthy Families through Center for Family Development. And our FRS there just goes in, twice a week?
Oh, no, she goes every day.
Oh, she goes every day.
Every morning.
And they just say hi to her. She shows them their badge and she goes in and talks to all the
Yes.
moms. In 5 years of working in the county that I never had that. And we were talking a lot about this.
On the way here, yes,
I was
absolutely.
just literally posting earlier, hey, do any of my friends know anyone in Henry County? Because we would love to be able to, the earlier the better. So
Yes.
if moms are prenatal, amazing. But if we can't get them prenatal, as soon as baby is born is like
Yes,
the next best
absolutely.
time.
Okay. Okay. Yes. No. Okay.
Ooh. Do we want to share one table and pitch in? Right.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you
That
so
would be
much.
awesome.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we would definitely love to be able to do more outreach opportunities.
Yes.
We've done like baby showers in the past, or have helped out with like giveaways before. So by all means, if there's something like that where we can actually see more of the community, that would be awesome.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. I like it.
Yes. That would be amazing. Yes, absolutely. Any other questions? Yes.
First I've heard this, I'm really excited. I think it's a great program. And I had a couple of people in mind, but I'm trying to figure out how to wrap my head around this to explain this to them. You have like a 30-second elevator speech or how can I?
So I'm going to be honest. That is literally my job, is to explain this program to people. And it can be, unfortunately, what I'm going to tell you is it's different for every family. So, but I do.
Once you say your piece, I'll say what I
Yes. So I do normally start out, with that we are a home visiting program because I want them to be aware. But you know, I always tell them it's not that scary because it's really only an hour and we're just, you know, but I tell them, like I said, emotional, educational support. I tell them that we're going to be there to check babies' milestones. We're going to be there to listen to any concerns they have, connect them to doctors, other resources. And I have a bajillion brochures. So if you want one, you're welcome. I brought plenty. So, and any questions that they have, they're more than welcome.
A social worker for the family. I mean, it just seems like it's a great.
Well, my background actually, and so is Jasmine's, we're in social work, but, you know, we have so many different backgrounds. We have education backgrounds, we have psychology, sociology, we have all kinds of different backgrounds because we, you know, it takes so many different perspectives and ideas and state of minds to do this job. So it really does take a village, like she said. Go ahead, you could say your
And
piece.
basically what I tell parents is, or when I'm doing like a quick 10-second spiel, is we are a free home visiting service and we are there to help families become to help families with whatever they need to be the best parents they need.
Yes, absolutely.
Something along those lines.
Any other
And when we do
questions?
take referrals too, since you said you had a couple families in mind, did you bring referral sheets?
I have
Okay.
plenty.
So we did bring a copy of what our formal referral sheet looks like, but realistically, a name, a way to contact them, and a quick blurb. Like Sally Joe is pregnant with her 4th child, and she currently has no health insurance for herself or the kids. That's all we need, and we can do the rest.
Also, we have a bunch of the referrals, so if anyone needs them in and we're right here. So we can always go to them.
Yes, I have plenty of business cards too, and I can bring you more referrals, email you. We're in and out of Cheatham County all the time. We were actually here this morning at the high school, so we're everywhere. So if you need me, you're welcome to call me at any time, email me. I'm pretty quick to respond, absolutely. So, because I want these referrals, I want these families, I want us to grow in this community and help as many people as we can. So, any other questions?
I wondered if there were any questions anybody on Zoom.
Oh.
And all right, anyone who's more than welcome to unmute and ask any questions.
Oh, you just take one. I'm so not with that.
Yeah. I can type it in the chat and I can ask them myself.
Mm.
Thank you for having us.
See, you learn something so important every time you come to one of these meetings. You never know what you're going to get, but thank y'all so much for that great information. So announcements, we have any announcements? Brand, do you have an announcement? Tell me about Summerfest. Sure.
Okay, Summerfest is next Tuesday through Saturday.
Here.
Live music every night, carnival rides, fair food, lots of food. It's $50 for a booth if you don't already have one, if you need one. Scott Sampson at Parks and Recreation in the town of Ashland City is the one you contact.
Okay. You think they can hear? You think they could hear that?
Oh, is it? Maybe.
So Summerfest, June 8th through the 12th, 6 to 10. To get a booth, contact Scott Sampson for the town of Ashland City, $50 for a booth. Okay, thank you. Anybody else have any announcements? Laura, any announcements? So can they hear, do you think? I can take this? I don't know what I did. So tell me what you got.
I'm having a pop-up event at the office here in Cheatham County. Cheatham County overdose rates continue to rise. So I will be there all day Thursday outside, training anyone that stops by. Briefly, a 5-minute training and getting Narcan into the community.
That's at the coalition office?
Yes.
Right, okay, thanks.
Thank you, Larry.
Anybody else? Okay,
It's not all day training. It's a brief training, it's just you can come anytime between.
okay, great. Any other announcements? Remember, there's a survey in your packet. Anything else? There's food here, help yourself.
If you didn't sign in, if you would mind, doing that before you, that way if you don't have your on our mailing list, we can get you on there.
And if so, and also if you're on Zoom, if you would please type your name and who you're with in the comments so we can get that in there as well. Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn? Motion, is there a second? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, see y'all. Thank you.